You're on.
Hi, I'm Dick Beith from Lodi, California. I'm here for the my 50th anniversary of running a Volkswagen at the Salt Flats. In my very first year in 1960, I went 77 miles an hour in a stock Volkswagen and I put 2 carburetors on. I came back the next year with a Pepco blower, a little 36 Volkswagen with a Crassa crank, and went 101 miles an hour. And that record stood for quite a while. In fact, I'd forgotten about it. Burley is the one who reminded me of it and got this whole 36 horsepower challenge going again, which I think is just a lot of fun. I'd kind of quit the Salt Flats until this came up, and I decided I got to come back and do it again. Of course, I had to do it a little bit wilder than it might have been done, but here I am with a comp coupe running a 36 horsepower engine with a blower.
Okay, so what are you predicting this year?
Well,
if you're running,
if we run, we got technical problems with our fuel management system. The record in the class is 163 miles an hour.
Let's go reverse.
Can we beat that? I don't know.
And through an intercooler there.
Well, we sure hope so, and nice to see you back, because we were afraid you were going to be late and we were going to miss you. So.
Oh no, we got here barely. We're a little late, but we're here.
So tell us, this was your latest dream here, or creation?
This is my last dream, I hope. I'm 74 years old, so
you're still a puppy compared to those guys.
I should stop sometime, but anyway. I'm here with my son. He was first here with me when he was 4 years old with his mother and 5 years without his mother. He's with me again today, so maybe we'll pass the torch on here one of these days.
Well, we sure hope so, because I plan to be here until I'm 93, so we got to...
Okay.
Anyway, so what have you got going on here, or is that a secret?
What we did, well, first of all, the body, we chopped the top.
Okay, show us kind of, if you don't mind. Might not be all 100%
Yeah, you can see
here.
the top has been lowered, I think 7 inches we took out of the top. We did it simply by cutting a door post and moving it backwards and moving the center post forward. We extended the nose 14 inches by grafting 2 Volkswagen stock hoods together and then narrowing the front. We took off the front fenders and narrowed the front axle, and then built new fender panels on it. We put the narrowest stock Volkswagen axles on the back. It has a stock Volkswagen gearbox or transaxle.
Yeah.
And we wrapped the wheels back around the drums as far as we could and get it inboard. And that's what's been done to the body. The engine is a 36 horsepower engine. We put a Porsche crank for strength and Porsche rods.
And what type of Porsche crank did you use? Sorry to interrupt.
356 Porsche crank, 356 rods. And I say we did that for strength. It did also raise the cubic, the displacement up to 1450 cc's, I guess it is. And then we put a Eaton supercharger on it. Let's go around to the engine, look at the engine. I'll point out what we've done there. Engine's the 36, has an Eaton blower off of a Thunderbird. It has the pulley that drives the blower, and the harmonic balancer is off of a Lightning Ford truck, and the fuel injection system is off of a 92 Camaro. And the most of the fuel management computer, etc., is inside the car. We also have inside the car a intercooler, an oil cooler with fans on it, and we have a pop-off valve so that we can that's controlled. A wastegate, we're using a pop-off valve so we can control the boost anywhere from 6 to 14 pounds.
Can I ask you a little question here? Mm-hmm. What are all the plug wires for?
All the plug wires, well, some of it's a secret.
Well, that's afterburn.
That's the afterburner. It's a confuser.
That's the afterburner. There's one on the other side. We want to match the pipes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still only has 4. The cylinder heads are stock 36 heads that we radically modified, and just a single spark plug. It's not a dual spark plug head.
Okay.
And you can see here's the induction pipe that goes into the head. So it's an inch, 2 inch, inch and a half. I forgot. 2 inch intake pipes going into the heads, and 1 on each side coming out of the intercooler.
So your injection system just in line there then?
Yeah, most of the injection is right here. There's the lines going.
Oh, you got it right into the port rather than in the line.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it goes right. There's an injector on each port. There's a divider in that pipe.
So it was a V8 Camaro, and you just use the distributor.
Yeah, everything is, Camaro. The only problem we have, and that's where we're hung up, is that we have to change the chip, the EEPROM, to think it has a supercharger, and it only has 4 cylinders. And we got behind on that.
Went with that from. It wouldn't an aftermarket setup be better? It's just more expensive.
Probably. I don't know what got me started on this. I first had this system on a flathead that I built out of a 351 Windsor, and so we said, hey, let's just rob it, have back off. We already own it, blah blah blah. Yeah. We know how to use it, and now we just got the software and hardware to reprogram the EEPROM, and that's where we're hung up this minute. We got to get that done.
So you've got the air coming through off the wheels and everything.
Yeah, we think there's a big void back here, aerodynamic void as it goes through the air. We're trying to get as much air around the sides as possible, as little over the top as possible for avoid lift. And then there's a big void back here that causes drag, so we're trying to bring the air in here, catch a little actually, or whatever the wheels generate, and get it to fill up this void hole we put in the air. Huh?
So by having the scoop here, since I know nothing, wouldn't that kind of suck that hot air back up?
No, the air really is trying to. No, there's just turbulence back here.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing we've done here, and you might notice too, is this fan housing has been enlarged because on the back we have a 13-inch diameter electric fan, a large fan blowing lots of air.
Okay.
I think the first thing when Volkswagen 36 didn't have very good cooling anyway, and I've seen heads that were melted stock. So when you add power, you make a lot more heat. So we got to get rid of the heat. So we put biggest fan on there. We can squeeze in, and we're also going to spray water into the fan and down around the engine to keep the heads cool. That's what we're really concerned about. We even put squirters in the crankcase to squirt oil on the bottom of the pistons.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 complete 36 horsepower engines cost me $100. The squirters in one case cost $225, huh? Just the squirters. And the pistons, by the time I got done with putting the wrong rods at the pistons cost $700. And I thought this was going to be a low buck deal, huh? Yeah. Now the wife's talking about it too.
Yeah.
She caught on after a while.
Rick, what were you saying about the oil injection on the tubes?
Well, what we had done in the past was we got some of the old engines to rev so much the valve lifters wear out right away. Just stock engine type things.
Valve lifters. Okay.
Your valve adjustment screws, sorry.
Yeah.
So what we did is we just put in a double-sized oil pump and then ran in oil like through brake lines into the heads directly on the guides. Like we have a little hole in the top of the guide, and we have the oil squirting in there, and we're going to put a big cooler.
You know, I talked to a guy on the phone that I bought a lot of parts all over the United States off from the internet. One guy said he squirted oil on the exhaust valve spring and picked up a lot of heat.
That's where we're squirting in, right on.
Same thing.
Well, it comes in on the valve cover. So when you take the valve cover off, there's a little oil line coming. You put it on, and it shoots right on. Yeah. And we got from 20 minutes to a set of valve adjusting screws to 20 years, just by keeping that.
How much spring pressure do you have? I have a stock cam in here. I mean, I have 36 cam, 36 lifters, radius lifters.
Yeah, these were all stock, but we had a high performance cam. And
yeah, but the lifter, how much spring pressure, seat pressure did you have?
I don't remember. This was 20 years ago we did.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that what was wearing out the lifters, because my lifter screws need replaced too.
Yeah, but once we put the oil on, maybe it was the extra lubrication that kept the spring up quicker, right? But we just turned it. There's no fancy jet. It was a hole drilled, and we turned the brake line that was through the valve cover on and aimed it right at the things, and then we tack welded it in.
Well, a friend of mine says, you know what you're doing? You're taking an air-cooled engine, turning it into an oil-cooled engine, because we're pumping the oil out and through an oil cooler up here with fans blowing on it, put it back and squirt it. Same thing you're doing. And your heads are one of the areas that get the hottest, the fastest. And so what you're doing is excellent.
Well,
you're cooling the head with the oil. Now you got to put a good cooler on there to get the heat back out of the oil into the air.
Well, what we did learn this year was the guys are putting an additional cooler on top of the transmission with a small fan. That way it's out of the engine compartment. because we're running a stock car.
Oh, okay.
So we
And
don't
you
have
got
that
space up
luxury
under-
of.
You got space under there for all that too.
Yeah.
There's a big gap under there.
And there's a lot of air.
Cold under there. Yeah, you got air under there. Yeah. And a fan on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, cool the engine with the oil. What the hell? And fact is, this fuel management system requires that, you know, the GM thing, before the computer will even start working, the coolant temperature has to be up to 150 degrees. And so what we do, we put the coolant temperature sensor in the oil pan.
Exactly. So you're
when
there
the oil-
all of that.
So yeah, so the computer doesn't work until the oil temperature gets to 150. So I got to warm it in line. Listen to that. That's crisp as can be.
And how fast has this one gone?
It hasn't.
Oh, you haven't run it yet?
Yeah, well, we had up to about 75 on the trailer yesterday.
Yeah.
Towing up here.
It's nice to, when you see all that in the stock. Not.
Somebody said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fits right on the stock. But you can take that pull out and go and put it on a Volkswagen right now.
Now what's that off again?
A Ford Lightning truck, and it had a blower, I think. And I found the thing in a box in the wrecking yard. And then we had to bore it a little bit, and we had to cut the key a little wider for the Volkswagen key. And then the other thing, we did put a seal in the case. Bored the seal case, slipped the seal in there, cut the pinch off, just like Ford did, right? And in fact, that's good. You know, somebody pointed out to me, a guy gave me these breathers, that breathing thing up there. Yeah. It's because you can't go to the drags without having a breather. So after I thought about it, I said, you know, the problem is not.
Yeah, this guy
it's not
blow it out right on the ground.
No, the real problem is at 1G, oil stands up in an oil tank at a 45-degree angle.
Really?
So if you leave the line in the Volkswagen at the drags, how many G's and the car's standing up, what's the oil doing? It's standing up in the back of the case, puking out around the slinger. Huh?
Yep.
The oil slinger doesn't have a chance. So with the seal in there, no problem. I don't know, I decided later, I don't know what the breather is. They thought the oil was coming out through the breathers. But anyway, the guys are waving me that we should go.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cool. Thanks for your time, Dick.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Thank you, cameraman.